In this video, I'm going to show you how to convert from fractions to mixed numbers, and I'm going to do this more as a practical setting. In a previous video, I addressed, how to do it, what the structure of division says about it, and that sort of thing. Now here, we're going to use that structure and go ahead and build the mixed number. And so step one here, we are going to divide the denominator into the numerator. And so I have three examples down here. So let's go ahead and do that just to each example first, or for the first two examples. The third example, I'm going to show you there are some things that we can do beforehand to make our job just a little bit easier. Okay, let me choose a color here that I like. Oh, we'll go with yellow. Alright, so we're going to divide the denominator into the numerator. That means that the denominator becomes the divisor, the numerator is the dividend. So we ask ourselves, how many times does 3 go into 10? 3 times 3 is 9. We subtract the whole mess and we get 1. And we ask ourselves the next question, does 3 go into 1? The answer is no. So we stop. We have a remainder of 1. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this process to the next fraction as well. So I have 7 dividing into 48. And when I do this, 7 goes into 48 almost 7 times, because 7 times 7 is 49. Since it doesn't quite get there, I gotta go 6 times. And 6 times 7 is 42. 48 minus 42 is going to give me 6. 7 does not divide 6, and so we're just going to have a remainder of 6. I'm going to finish these first two out, so we're going to go to step 2. Rewrite the quotient in this form. Okay, the quotient, this is my answer. And so I'm going to look at my answers, and I'm going to rewrite those answers in this form. The integer goes out front, and so in the case of this first one here, the 3 goes out front. That's this 3, by the way. The remainder goes up top, so I have a remainder of 1, that's up top. And then I put a fraction bar down, and the divisor goes underneath, and this 3. And so 3 divided by 10, or 10/3, can be rewritten as 3 and 1/3. If we go over here to the mixed or to the other fraction, let's go ahead and rewrite this one. Again, we simply take the integer from the answer and put that down. And then we take the remainder that goes on top as the new numerator. And on the bottom we put the divisor, that's 7. And so 48 sevenths becomes 6 and 6 sevenths. Alright, so now we've converted those two into mixed numerals. Let's go ahead and work on this third one. In the previous two, we noticed that 10 and 3, 48 and 7, those two pairs did not share any common factors. 7 is prime and odd, 48 is not a multiple of 7, and it's even. Okay, 10 is even, 3 is odd, 3 does not evenly go into 10, and so they don't share common factors. The greatest common factor between 3 and 10 and 7 and 48 is 1. However, if we check this fraction, I have two numbers that are even. And so if I rewrite this and simplify first, it's going to make my division a lot easier. And I can split 28 or 128 up, and that becomes 2 times 2 is 4, 8, 16, 2 is 32, 2 is 64, 2 is 128. 24 I can split up as 2 times 2 times 2 times 3, which is 8 times 3. This is using, by the way, the greatest common factor method. You can use the prime factorization of a number to find its greatest common factor. In this case, each factor is going to cancel out as a 1-to-1, meaning if I cancel out 1 on top, there has to be 1 underneath. That is exactly the same. And they cancel out 1 against 1. And so what I'm left with is 4 2's on top, so that's 2, 4, 8, 16. Now the bottom I just have 3. So instead of trying to write a mixed number out of 128 and 24, we can go ahead and simplify it down to 16/3, and that makes our life a lot easier. So 3 will go into 16. It will also go in there 5 times. 3 times 5 is 15. We subtract them, we get 1 with the remainder of 1. So we did step 1. Divide the denominator into the numerator. Now we rewrite it, and this is going to give us the integer portion is the new integer for the mixed numeral. The remainder goes on top, fraction bar. The divisor goes on the bottom. There's our answer. In a different video, I'll go ahead and do some that are a little bit more complicated, but this is the essence. This is the idea behind it. They all work the same, only the numbers change.